Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of the best-selling Fearless Tarot and the award-winning Tarot in Love, Consulting the Cards and Matters of the Heart. Both books are available from Llewellyn Books and are available wherever books are sold. And if you're looking for the perfect gift for the tarot lover in your life, I have some signed copies of my books available on my website, ElliotOracle.com, if you're interested. And with that housekeeping out of the way, it's time for this week's Oracle reveal. So, yesterday on my social media, I placed up a photo of three different animals, and I asked you to use your intuition and ask yourself which animal's calling to you, because that animal has your message. And the three animals were the dolphin, the hummingbird, and the hawk. So if you're just joining me now, ask yourself which animal's getting caught in your head because that animal has your message. And the animals today, by the way, are from the Everyday Witches Familiars Oracle that is newly released from Llewellyn by Deborah Blake. So let's get into it. If you pick the dolphin this week, the dolphin here is a symbol for combining not just the intelligence of the dolphin. The dolphin's known for its brain, its intellect, its ability to problem solve and cooperate and work as a team, but it's also a water element animal. So I feel like this is going to be a perfect week for you if you're attracted to dolphin, to blend both the intellectual and the emotional, to take that approach with whatever's in front of you. Not only doing what logic tells you to do, but also listening to your heart as well. Also, the dolphin can indicate that you can outwit the problem that's in front of you. It's time to problem solve and trust in your own intelligence. First card for dolphin is where is it best for you to place your focus this next week? And we get the Two of Wands reversed. And when the Two of Wands comes up reversed, it can indicate that you don't want to borrow trouble right now. And what I mean by that is forecasting doomed things for yourself before anything's even played out. Or getting the cart before the horse, starting to spiral into this mental, circular firing squad where you're worried this and this and this is going to happen in the future that hasn't even happened yet. This is a card of looking ahead, but sometimes fearing what you're seeing, and then really kind of almost shooting yourself in the foot in the present moment instead of just letting things play out organically. I feel like the message for you this next week, if you pick the dolphin, is not only to combine the mental and emotional aspects of yourself, but it's also a time to be present, to not get too far ahead of yourself, because things can change, circumstances shift. And so stop worrying what's going to happen in the autumn or in the winter or even next year, because right now your power is in the present. Next is going to be advice from your inner wisdom if you pick the dolphin and we get the Seven of Pentacles. And there's sort of a similar meaning here. The Seven of Pentacles represents the number one word everyone hates to hear in a tarot reading, which is patience. We see the figure in the garden. He's growing his crop, but it's not quite ready for harvest yet. And yet, he's satisfied sort of with how things are growing. You can see him leaning on his garden tool and looking at this patiently. This is telling me that the seeds have been planted for your future success, dolphin. And you need to be patient as this thing is growing. And the worst thing you can do while the bread is baking in the oven is constantly open the oven door and check on it every 2 seconds to see if is it still going right, is it still okay. This could be a time where you're really needing to trust this process, trust what you're doing. And so I just kind of feel with the Seven of Pentacles card, it's like set it and forget it. It's time to just let the thing bake. Because even if you tried to eat the bread right now, it wouldn't taste very good. It isn't fully baked. And so too with your plans in life right now. So stop worrying about it. I just kind of feel like take it step by step, bit by bit. And the mythic archetype that's going to help you this next week, and this is from another oracle deck, the Oracle of the Celestial Deities by Latao Wang. I can leave a link in the description box to how you get this. But this mythic oracle card is Neptune, and his card says dream, illusion, and the wish to flow. And I just kind of feel from Neptune, there is this sense of just trusting the flow, trusting where things are going organically. It could be also, since Neptune is associated with spirituality or the higher self, it could be a time where you're really trusting your spirit, trusting the natural current, the natural flow of your life. And it's not lost on me that Neptune governs the ocean, the seas, where the dolphins are found. There is this sense of a natural flow, a natural sort of watery element that's kind of pervading the situation. And I just feel like you need to go with the flow. If you try to fight the waves right now, you will lose. You cannot defeat the whole ocean. You cannot defeat the current and where it's going. The best you can do is ride the wave towards your success. So surrender, let go, maybe do some prayer work, maybe even do some spirit work, but just allow these things to transpire in their proper times. Next, we're going to go into the hummingbird. And this is an element of air creature. The hummingbird is a symbol of joy. And also, since we're dealing with that element of air, it has to do with the intellect, our thoughts. You know, if you want to change how you're feeling, you have to change how you're thinking first. And hummingbird medicine is all about really finding the interests, the things that activate the mind that you can center or focus on that bring you joy. And so I just feel like this is going to be an important time for you, intellectually speaking, to focus on what brings you joy. And that's going to beget more joy, and so on and so forth. The first card for Hummingbird is where is it best for you to place your focus this next week? And we get the Two of Pentacles, which shows the juggler. He's juggling the two coins. And again, we see waves on this card, much like with the dolphin symbolism. Those wavy waters are symbolizing that life is sending you waves, Hummingbird. There's a lot of unpredictable energy right now. And yet, I'm just kind of thinking of hummingbirds and how they move. They can fly forwards or backwards. They're the only birds who can do that. And so there is this sense of adjusting in time with what situations are coming your way. It can also be a time where you're not so beeline focused on what you're trying to do that you're thinking, this is the only path, this is the only way to go, and so I'm just going to focus on it. There might be some unpredictable things that are happening in life that you need to adjust around, that you need to alter your course for. And so the Two of Pentacles is always a card of flexibility. Even the juggler himself, he has an elastic quality to him, almost as if he's made out of rubber. You know, that which cannot bend breaks. And the Two of Pentacles teaches us to bend to life situations, and to adjust our tactic toward achieving the goal. So I just feel like I expect some unpredictable energy, but just like the juggler and just like the hummingbird, it's also important that you're finding your joy in it. You need to laugh at this stuff. You need to just say, oh, of course this unpredictable thing happened because it's my life. And of course that happens. It's me. And so it's just saying, don't take yourself or life too seriously. You know, there's that old saying, man plans, God laughs. So there is that sense that right now you need to just stop being so focused on your plan and instead just adjust to what changeable situations may be going on. The advice from your inner wisdom this next week, if you picked Hummingbird appropriately, is the Four of Wands, which is always a card of joy. You can see these figures here. They're celebrating. They're having a party. They're dancing. They're unself-conscious. They're totally allowing themselves to flow with the movements. And this is a card that's just saying that, you know, even though every goal may not be in full fruition for you right now, there are some things to celebrate right now. There are some things to enjoy. Also, for Hummingbird, seeking that joy could come through social events or connections with other people. So say yes to those things instead of I'm busy or I have just too much going on. Four of Wands is telling you to find those things to celebrate and also find the people that you can celebrate with. And then the mythic archetype that's going to help you is Mars, and his card says passion, action, and the wish to persevere. And I think that word is really sticking out to me, perseverance. I think it's so important for you to persevere. And by injecting joy into that long, winding struggle you may be involved in, that thing that you really want to see come into fruition, by putting that joyful energy into this, by being bold with that, you're going to find that it's a much more pleasurable experience. And finally, Mars, he governs all sorts of physical activities. So this could be a time to get out of your head and into your body, to get action, to get moving on something in the real world, to get a little bit of that spark of fire. And then finally, we have the hawk animal spirit, which I associate with the element of air. But in this deck, the author and the creator decided to make the hawk fire. And I can see that too. I can see how the hawk would speedily go toward its prey, like that fire element. It's also a passionate, hunter. So there could be a sense of that here. But I think that there's that blending of air and fire, whereas with Dolphin, it was sort of that blending as well, or air and water, I should say. And so this is going to be an important time for you to really just be focused, hyper focused, speedily acting toward your goals. Don't equivocate. Don't stop yourself and overanalyze things. Watch out for analysis paralysis with the hawk. Circle around, look at things from that higher perspective, and see your prey in its sights, and then go for it. First card for hawk is where is it best to place your focus? And we get the Queen of Swords. And if you look very carefully, way high in the background behind the Queen of Swords is that bird flying in the air. Could it be a hawk? Who knows? But the Queen of Swords, she's a master at transforming the energy. And she is that governess of the element of air. She could say that it's time to get organized in your thinking. It's time to stop complaining, whining, worrying about how things are going to happen, and instead be decisive, take action, and take your power back. If you find yourself endlessly complaining about life or the way it's going, Queen of Swords comes in like a drill sergeant and she doesn't have time for it. She's so bored by it. And so I just kind of feel like this is a time for you to get really clear on what is it that you want to do and do it. And don't make excuses. That's going to keep you in the state of powerlessness. And Queen of Swords does not know what powerlessness means. She grabs that sword, she takes action, and she's able to separate things. She wears that butterfly crown, which means she is a master at transforming the energy. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you pick the hawk, is the Eight of Swords. And just look at these two archetypes and how different they are. We have the empowered Queen of Swords who's in charge of her thoughts, the swords, the element of air. And then we have the woman on the Eight of Swords who's the damsel in distress. She's tied up. She's lost, forsaken. She's waiting for some hero to swoop in and save her from her life the way it is. And no one's coming. And so the message is very clear for the hawk this next week. I feel like you're needing to blend air and fire. You're needing to blend this sense of like, okay, I need to be logical and problem solve and figure stuff out. But I also need that fire, that chutzpah, that frees me from victim thinking, that I'm just letting things happen to me, that I'm hoping, wishing, and waiting for things to get better. Queen of Swords doesn't have time for that. So these two female archetypes are just opposite of one another. And I just get this feeling like there's this fork in the road for you, Hawk. And the archetype, the archetype that you choose is going to get stronger. And so it's really important that you're being mindful of that. And I swallowed and breathed at the same time. And then finally, we have Persephone as the mythic archetype. And her card says simplicity, rejuvenation, and the wish to balance. And I feel with Persephone, she is always that archetype of spring. She goes to the underworld every winter, and then she reemerges in the spring to bring new life. And I feel like there is new life that needs to be brought into your life as well, Hawk. But it can only be made possible when you take your power back. It's not something that's going to happen to you if you're passive or if you're just kind of victimized by the situation in front of you. You need to repurpose those swords, which are your thoughts, to be the tools of your liberation, to cut away those bindings that are around you so you can be free. And that is this week's Oracle. I do hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, you can always schedule a one-on-one tarot session with me at elliotoracle.com. I'd love to talk to you about your own personal questions and see what the cards have to say about you and in your own life, the situations that may come up. Also, if you do find this video useful, please do like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button so YouTube will let you know when I next upload. I have tons of content coming up on my channel all the time, including daily readings, weekly readings, card meetings, and I just did a Celtic Cross explanation spread too that you can check out. I hope you have a wonderful week, whatever you're doing, and I will see you again here next time, so do take care.